it is Nikki. Welcome back to the channel. Quick update on how this past week or week and a half has been going as far as productivity goes. Not great. I've been in a bit of a slump. It was kind of a weird week, and I always hit this point in the semester. It does not matter how great a semester has been. I always reach this point somewhere near the middle, but usually a little bit closer to the end, where I just do not have the oomph. Things are ramping up. I know that I have my final projects hanging over me, and it's just like the energy is not there. I have one project in particular, an essay. I really sat down and tried to prioritize it last week, going through the research, going through my primary source, just like begging a thesis to pop out at me so that I could start writing the essay and arguing something. It did not seem to matter how much time I put into it. It never seemed to go anywhere. So frustrating. One thing I've learned about myself over the course of my university experience is that I do work fairly well with a teensy bit of like a pinch, a little bit of urgency, not too much. I wouldn't want to be writing something like the day before it's due, but if I have a week to write a paper, that's usually enough. And with most of my assignments right now, I have like 2 weeks plus. So I think that's part of the reason why I'm struggling to really get into them, because there's not that sense of urgency yet. And I know that everything will get done because it always does. Still though, it's been getting to me, and so I've been trying to channel motivational vibes from the Rocky movies, which I just finished going through, which is like a whole other video for another time. I think Rocky 6 is just my favorite movie ever, like period, full stop. Love that movie. I've seen it multiple times, but it is so emotional. Like, I felt like this most recent time I watched it, I needed a full 24 hours to recover emotionally from it. I think it was pretty much a solid hour and a half to 2 hours of just like weeping. And don't be dissuaded from watching the movie, because it's not that kind of movie. Like, you're not supposed to be crying for 2 hours. I do, because it's just so emotional for me. Like, it hits me really hard in all the right ways. Like, just a really beautiful film. I could go on, but in the meantime, the point is that I was trying to channel motivation from those movies, because of course, no matter who you are, there is no movie more motivational than Rocky. So when this week started, I was like, okay, I'm turning over a new leaf. This is gonna be a different week. I'm making some changes. So on Monday morning, instead of like trying to get work done at home before class, I went to school pretty much straight away in the morning, hours before my first class, and just found a quiet spot to focus and buckle down and get some work done. Felt good about that. And I feel like it set the tone for the rest of the day, because I had a pretty productive Monday. But at the end of the day, I still did not have a thesis for this essay. I just wanted to bang my head against the wall. Fortunately though, that night I like woke up in the middle of the night and then was just wired and didn't want to go back to sleep right away, so I worked on my essay for a bit. And I think I got a thesis at 4:30 in the morning, or at least like a working pseudo thesis. Admittedly though, I haven't looked at it since then, so it might be one of those situations where you like write something in the middle of the night that you think is really good and then you check later and it's like, ugh. We'll see. Hopefully not. In the meantime though, I'm trying to do like other fun stuff to keep myself sane in this like last stretch of the semester. I've started reading the Pickwick Papers as like my bedtime reading, which is something that I have never really done, or at least haven't done in a long time, because normally I just kind of work solidly until I need to go to bed, or do writing stuff solidly until I need to go to bed, and there's no like transition period. At least that's often the case. So I kind of wanted to start like a little bit of a bedtime ritual where I actually do just like turn my brain off for productivity and just enjoy a completely unrelated book for like 10 minutes before bed. It's gonna take me like 5 years to get through this book because it's enormous, but it's fun to get into Dickens again because I've missed Dickens. And in my audiobook reading, I'm also roughly 40% through the 11th book of The Wheel of Time. I know someone mentioned in one of my previous videos when I mentioned Wheel of Time that book 11 really picks up after book 10, and I'm glad that you told me that. I needed all the encouragement I could get to get through book 10. I think it was like a transition book, so it's more just to give you what you need to move from 9 to 11. But as soon as I started reading 11, it was like night and day difference. Stuff is happening, things are changing, things are ramping up, you can feel it, and I'm just really excited to see how we ramp into the climax. But I have to be strong and save my audiobook reading for when I'm in the car driving, because when I'm not, I need to be in productivity mode. That is the name of the game right now, at least for a few more weeks until I get through this semester, and then I just have a whole summer ahead of me of nothing but writing. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to like and subscribe and comment below with your tactics for getting through productivity slumps. Like, what do you do when you need to kind of boost motivation? I could use some more tools in my tool belt for that, so I will take all of your suggestions. And as always, do not forget to spend some time in the clouds today.